Hello, everyone. My name is Beth, and I am with the Education Alliance. The Education Alliance exists to mobilize business and community support for public schools. And one of the things that we are most passionate about is partnerships that increase college access for students. Today's virtual college visit is made possible with support from the West Virginia Higher Education Policy Commission. Today, we are going to be visiting West Virginia University at Parkersburg. Throughout the visit, I will stop 3 times for a Q&A, and I know Western University at Parkersburg also has some questions for you guys because we want you all to interact with us. So when I ask a question, pause, talk to your students, and use the chat feature and send those in, and we will chat and interact that way. So let's practice. So I would like to know how many students we have today. So please chat how many students are with us today. And while we're waiting on them, I'm going to go ahead and hand the tour over to Hannah Kitchen from WVUP. Hi, Hannah.
Hi. So as Beth said, my name is Hannah. I'm an admissions counselor here at WVU Parkersburg. I have a couple friends with me today just to give the student and incoming student perspective. So if you guys want to go ahead and introduce yourselves. Kim?
Hello, I'll go first. I'm Kim Yeager, and I'm the college ambassador here.
And I'm Lilith Parsons, and I am a freshman in my second semester here.
Great. So I know you guys are middle school students, is that correct? Okay.
Yeah, and it said they have 9 8th graders with us.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, 8th grade, what a time. So we are just gonna do a little background info on WVUP, some virtual tour, especially since you guys are a small group. If you have thought about college or have any specific areas of interest, if you haven't, no pressure, but if you have, feel free to let us know and we can make sure to point those spaces out when we're checking things image wise, if you're interested in seeing any of that. And if you have any questions for Lilith or Kim or myself, I'm sure Lilith has been in 8th grade much more recently than I, but we will go ahead and get started if there aren't any other questions. Okie doke. So first thing I want to do, Ricky the Riverhawk is our mascot. He unfortunately, I'm a little under the weather today. He also caught what I have and had to fly the coop. But I have mini baby Ricky here with me. So he says hello. And then one other thing that I wanted to showcase, and this is going to make a weird sound, so you've been prepared. But one of the great things about WVU Parkersburg is that we have both traditional programs on the sort of cliche college degree, as well as short-term programs and technical and community training. So I actually grabbed our little miniature robotic arm. So if he will cooperate to say hello, he might do a little wave. I don't know if you guys can see it, but he will, there he's waving. So he is a miniature version of one of our robotic arms that we have. We have an entire classroom full of full-size ones, as well as individual ones. And since you guys aren't here on campus to see that, I just wanted to bring him to say hi. So we will go ahead and pop into the PowerPoint. Fun facts about WVU Parkersburg. I know with 8th grade, you might be thinking about college already, but also it might be the furthest thing from your mind. So I think the first thing to realize is that college is incredibly fun. Our jobs here are to support you and help you navigate everything. And so making sure that you're at a place that has student engagement that you're interested in, even if it's a community college that is doing programming for you guys, is super important. We are one of the only community colleges that has its own radio station. We also just installed a recording studio In the last couple of years, you don't have to be in those programs to have your own radio show or podcast or anything like that. We also, let's see, go ahead, have state-of-the-art labs. And so every program you're in, whether it's a traditionally hands-on program or a more book-based program, is going to have hands-on components because we're very, very interested in experiential learning so that students are as prepared as possible. So there's Ricky. And you can follow him on social media. There's Ricky with our former president during one of our WV's Got Talent events. And so let's actually go ahead and check out some spaces. So let me see. It's not opening in that screen, is it? Let's see. Give me 1 second. So I want to make sure you guys are able to check out our spaces. Bear with me. Okay. So I've shared that screen, but is it showing up, guys?
I'm seeing it, Hannah. Yes.
Okay, thanks. The with the live tour.
Mhm.
Okay, and so does everybody see main campus? Awesome. So if you guys are interested, you actually can click through this as if you are walking through our campus and experiencing a day in the life. Just in case there's any lag computer-wise, I'm going to click directly into classrooms to hopefully spare you of any of that. So like I said, please shout out if you're interested in these specific areas. Here we have our main building. If we flip around here, our clock tower is just really great for photo ops there. One of the cool things about WVU Parkersburg is that it is all in one campus. We do have a campus in Ripley as well, the Jackson County Center, but you're not having to hop on the PRT to traverse between buildings. So on a snowy day like today, you're going to be safe. So here we have the Success Epicenter. What you guys just need to know is that that's a place you can go for help. So every school is going to have somewhere where you can get tutoring, academic advising, support services, all of that. Something I think is super fun is that we do have everything you have at a traditional school on a small scale. You may think, oh, community college, they're probably not going to have a lot, but especially these days, because West Virginia is doing such a great job with funding education and supporting you guys through financing your own education, as well as helping us help you. We have everything that you would have just on a small scale, which also means smaller classes and a smaller price tag. So on that note, we do have a gym. If you want to go get your workout on before or after class, both with the weight room as well as the aerobics room. There is a full basketball court, all of that. We've done a lot of ping pong and Nerf gun wars and laser tag and all of that as well. Here you can see the courtyard where we do a lot of cookouts. I would say the number one thing about working here is the constant amount of free food. I'm sure Kim and Lilith have seen that thus far. I also want to click briefly on, here we can see the radio station, as well as the recording studio, which now is full of musical instruments. And then for anyone interested in health sciences, another really cool thing is that we have high fidelity mannequins. This means that these mannequins bleed, they breathe, they urinate, one of them has a baby. They also have heart attacks and strokes, which sounds really scary and concerning. But when you're a nursing student, which not my area of expertise, but if that's something you're interested in, it means that you're getting the highest amount of training through these supercomputers before you even have to touch a real person. And my favorite fun fact is actually that when these mannequins outlive their usefulness, they go to criminal justice to become murder victims. So on that note, let me pop down to the basement. And we actually have a criminal justice program. I don't know if you guys watch any of the murder mystery shows or any of those podcasts, but we have a lab here set up like an apartment. So they look at the trigonometry of blood stain analysis, their fingerprinting. Sometimes you walk in there and there's fake guns and drugs and all sorts of like crazy things that you think, oh, they're really alarming and sketchy for school, but it's all for training and educational purposes. If you are into the gore, all of that, maybe that's the program for you. But the other cool thing is that they also do the psychology side, social work, all of that. I know that Lilith is going to tell us about the program she's in, so I will really quickly pop over to that room. Let's see. So if you're maybe thinking, I'm absolutely not interested in healthcare, not interested in murder, maybe you're thinking teachers. I know that there's definitely a shortage in West Virginia of, qualified teachers. And so we have a room on campus that has every single resource you could possibly need, everything from sensory cushions, all of the craft supplies, just to support you through your journey there when you're in residency and student teaching. We also have an art studio, a music studio. So you have a lot of options there. And then also through our workforce and economic division, if you're thinking, oh, I want to open an Etsy store on the side, we can serve you with that as well. So I want to ask Lilith and Kim real quick, of these spaces, like I know Kim hasn't started classes yet, but Lilith has been in classes. Where have you found yourself hanging out? Is like the student lounge? What spaces have supported you so far?
I've typically spent most of my time between classes and my work schedule in the student lounge with all the beanbags and the room that's on the screen,
Yeah.
and also at Ricky's Cafe. It's not very crowded once they close down, and so it's just a quiet place to be able to sit down and work on some schoolwork in between some of your classes, because I have a weird schedule, so I sometimes go about 2 hours in between my classes.
And Kim, do you have a favorite spot on campus or a favorite food from Ricky's Cafe?
Not really. I like the campus. I like being here. It's fun. It's very casual. The section that's on the screen right now too, like the lounge, there are constantly kids in there. Literally like lounging, like the little bean bags on the chair, like lounging in the hallways, all that kind of stuff. Playing pool. I think there's a pool tournament going on right this moment out there. But it's a very relaxed atmosphere. It's a very long story, but I guess I always had a different vision of college and exactly what it was. And coming back, I actually came back as the college ambassador to work here. But since I have been here doing that, encouraging other kids to come to college, I've actually decided that I'm going to come back to college myself. So I've signed up to take classes and have not started yet. But I'm excited about that. But anyway, yeah, very, very casual, I guess I was always intimidated by it, but it's just a fun place to be. It's kind of like a big family here. And I've got all kinds of crazy allergies going on right this moment. So I haven't been able to eat anything from Ricky's, but every time I walk out there, it smells so good. And it seems like a fun place where lots of people hang out and can just kind of visit and just chill out for a while. So.
Awesome. Thank you.
I just wanted to open it up right now to see if the students online do have any more questions for you guys. So we'd like to hear from you guys if you have any more questions. How about something that's surprising to you at this point? What's something that you didn't know, or something you learned so far at this point, or something that's surprising, or something that's unique about the school? And I'll go ahead and start while they're maybe thinking through and sending their chat. I love that, like how you described it as everything that a big college would have, just on a smaller scale. And I've been fortunate enough to visit the campus, and you're exactly right. It is everything that you need for college, but just scaled down. So I think the benefit of that would be for someone who wants a smaller experience, who wants more one-on-one time and doesn't want to, deal with the large campus where, you have to like walk a lot, but you still get all of the benefits.
Right. I know I've only worked here a couple of years, and I know teachers who have literally bought tires for students to get them to class, whereas I went to a really big school, and so not all of my teachers knew me. So I think it's just, exploring what you think the right fit for you is going to be. And there's something for everyone. Like there is an accessible, attainable option for every student, no matter what you're looking for. I can say my most surprising thing about here, events wise that we've had, is that you can do karaoke with the president. So that's something that you might not get at a big school. And then we also did like pies in the face with some of our staff. So just fun, like quirky little family type events that you might not have on a larger scale.
I love that. Well, it doesn't look like they have any questions, so let's continue.
Sure. So let me switch this back over. So I also want to make sure that we are giving you some general background information. Can you see where we are here on the map? Awesome. So we are in Parkersburg, West Virginia. If you're not familiar, it's sort of on the left there in Wood County. We offer more than 50 degree programs, and we don't have a specific number because we're constantly adding new ones. Something that's really great that we've added recently is agribusiness. We're adding cosmetology. All sorts of exciting things are happening. For those of you who aren't familiar with the way programs work, we offer everything from short-term programs, 1-year certificate, 2 years and 4-year bachelor's degrees. So whether you're looking for an associate degree or maybe just a short-term beekeeping class, we got you. We have around 2,200 students right now. And as I said earlier, there are 2 campuses, one here in Parkersburg and one in Jackson County. We also have some online programs that people can do from anywhere in the country, and those all get in-state tuition as well, which is exciting. Average class size around 18 to 24. And then in your program specific classes, it's going to be even smaller. Lilith, is there anything you want to share about class sizes so far that you found, whether it's general or specific to your program?
Honestly, that is a very accurate class size, because my largest class for attendance is my math, and it's like the very basic entry level college algebra. So it typically has there's a student from every program in there. And there's probably about 24 kids. And then I'm also in a class for psychology right now, and there are 12 students total, I think, and majority of them Zoom in. So in class, there's an average of 6 kids that are in the physical class with me every Thursday.
Love that one-on-one attention. This sort of says what Kim was talking about in our family feel, that some people want to be lost in the sea and want to be having a large experience in a lecture hall, or maybe here if you're looking for a more supportive one-on-one experience. I also think that just because it's community college, you're not getting less qualified instructors. In fact, you may be taught by somebody with a master's degree or a doctorate level degree in their field rather than a teaching assistant. But that's not stuff you guys have to worry about yet. It's a great time to be thinking about majors, programs, or just exploring what classes in high school or in middle school do you hate, which ones do you love, and maybe doing, some career quizzes for fun. You don't need to stress about college, but it's not too soon to be thinking about it. So here on the slide, you can see all the programs we're offering right now. You guys really don't have to think about jobs yet, but when it comes time for that, we do have you covered with the career services and alumni services. And then here, this is just about campus life. So we've been doing so much campus programming lately. I even wrote myself a list to remind me: bowling, sporting events, WVUP's Got Talent, long games, Nerf gun war, pottery. We've done self-care, we've done cookouts, hot wing panels, so many sporty things. We even did a D&D session, Harry Potter marathons. So Kim and Lilith, if there's one thing that you could tell your middle school self, either that excited you about college, or that would have helped prepare you for like where you are in your journeys right now, what do you think that would be? I know that's a lot of pressure.
I think the biggest thing I would have reminded myself when I was in middle school was I like to stick to how I want things done at that age. And I was not a big fan of change, especially being in 8th grade, because I was already transitioning from middle school to high school, and I had siblings that were in high school, so it was just a lot of adjusting. So a big thing I wish I would have like come to terms with was college is completely different than high school. Like you make your own schedules. It's what you want to do. It's not what your counselors are putting you in. And so I feel like that was a big thing I should have learned was this is on you. It's not that simple as you get there the first day of school and you have a schedule made already.
You're muted, Kim. There we go. Did I lose sound?
No, we're all still here. We just can't hear Kim,
Oh,
unfortunately.
okay.
It looks like her microphone might not be working.
Okay. Well, I'll pick on Lilith again. Let me go ahead and switch there. Experiential learning. We talked about hands-on. I want to check in with Lil about when you were in middle school, what did you think you wanted to be versus what program are you in now? And sort of what was that like, sort of navigating the decision there?
I have actually known what I wanted to do since I was 4 years old in preschool. I have always wanted to be a teacher. Now, in middle school, I didn't know what I wanted to teach. I just knew I did not want to teach middle school. No offense to you guys. You guys are just the schooling for that scares me a little. And so once I got into high school, I was able to take programs and explore more and then look into colleges. And this school offers a really good elementary education program. And so once I decided I want to teach kindergarten, I knew that this is where I wanted to be. And it's been a great experience so far. I'm in my second semester and I've already gotten to be inside schools working with students and like observing how teachers are interacting. And both classes that I've been with have been super great, super sweet kids, and I've honestly learned quite a bit.
Awesome. Kim, did we get you back there? Rats. Well, I know I don't know if I can hear Kim or Beth. I know she has been
I'm on
navigating.
mute.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
I was
I'm
like,
on mute.
You we got.
Kim, you could maybe just use the chat feature and tell us a couple of things through the chat feature if you want, and we'll read it out loud. Because I agree with Andrew. I think it's your microphone. So
Gotcha. So Lilith, I know you said you found like students really approachable. Did you always know that college was an option for you? Is it something that you sort of came to later? How has that been for you as a relatively new student?
I always knew college would be available to me. Growing up, I have 6 siblings, so I was on the younger side of them. I grew up and my mom actually attended the nursing program here when I was really young. So I remember being able to come with her when she had to take these big tests like the HESI, and just been able to run around upstairs because there was a hallway that had a bunch of light coming in through all the windows. And so I always knew that I would be able to go to college. For a while, I wanted to go to like a faraway place. I was, you know, youngest out of the kids. I didn't want to be around my siblings anymore. So it's get as far away as possible. Quickly learned that's not for me. And so the fact that I do get to go to a school that is relatively local to me has been an amazing experience. So
Awesome. And I know you've not been here for a super long time, but is there anything that you've been able to utilize on campus, like support services, tutoring, the gym? Is there anything that we offer that has sort of helped you thus far?
I haven't utilized the gym just yet, just because I've been really busy the
Me
past
too.
couple weeks. But I am going to the tutoring center to study and prepare to take my praxis exam, which is the exam you take to enter the program that I'm entering for education. And so I have appointments scheduled for that. The advisors, I've interacted and met with them to prepare my schedules for the upcoming semesters. I've been to the Center for Student Services and have met with admissions counselors, financial aid, and just to figure out everything going on. And honestly, everybody who works here that I've interacted with personally has gone above and beyond to make sure that my issue or my question I have is answered. So
I think that's one of the great things about WVU Parkersburg is that it really is a choose your own adventure school, which is how I like to refer to it, in that we have a fair amount of returning adult students, but we also have a ton of, fresh out of high school students who are first-time freshmen. So I think that there's definitely a group for everyone, a program for everyone, an event for everyone. And since you're not required to live in dorms, you're saving a lot of money. But B, you get to decide, hey, am I, maybe focused on family and, working a job, and do I just pop in, take my classes and go home? Or if you want to get involved, there is so much happening. We're even having a graduation party in a couple of weeks for high school seniors. So we're going to rent tons of inflatables and do all of that. But so I think it's really nice that you really do get to choose how this, process goes for you and how involved you want to be beyond just choosing your major in your school. Did anybody have any questions?
So at this time, if you guys have any questions from the school, send it into the chat. I wanted to just read out what Kim had shared with us, since unfortunately her mic is not working. Technology, it just sometimes will disappoint us. It's wonderful, but can also hurt us sometimes.
I blame the snow.
What is it?
I blame the snow.
Yes, always blame the weather. Kim just wanted to say that traditional students have been encouraging to her as well, and that she has taken advantage of the gym and the workout room, and it's a great facility. And while the schools may be thinking about some questions that they have, I just want to mention that college is so much more than just going to class and earning a degree. The social aspect, whether it's on a large scale or a small scale like you would have at this school, is so beneficial to lifelong things. You're going to make connections throughout your life, and a lot of those can be connected to the school you went through, and just the opportunities they give you, as in a workout room or clubs at the on campus. It really does open up a whole new world.
For sure. I think so much of the learning happening in college is actually outside of class. And I know that's easy to say because I'm not a professor, but learning about even just like managing all of this, learning how to ask for help, that's a big one. I know that's super hard. Learning that, there is help if you ask for it. And then with those clubs that you were talking about, so many of them have, opportunities for internships, opportunities for like national level competition. Some of our students in the business program, beyond their class, they did a national level competition, and they're making connections that will help them both in the job field and also people in different like SGA and different honorary societies. They have friends for life, and they're doing all sorts of trips together. The Criminal Justice Club is on a whole week conference together. So there's so much to be learned outside of your academic classes, and it really is what you make of it. And so choosing to be, open to new experiences, or maybe try a new event, go to something you've never done before, and you may, have a brand new like lifelong hobby.
Absolutely. Yeah, college is fun, and it's an opportunity to learn, try new things, and meet new people. I love that. Well, I don't see any questions coming across, so if you want to finish this up, and if there's anything else you want to talk to us about.
Sure. We can sort of very briefly touch on affordability and flexibility. I know you guys are like, we're in 8th grade, this is a lot. So really the message that I want you to take away from that is that college is an option for you. Money should not be the reason that you think college isn't right for you, especially with the community and technical school. Even if you're thinking, well, maybe I don't want to spend a ton of hours in the classroom, I want to do something with my hands, we have options for you with that. A lot of schools in West Virginia do. And West Virginia actually basically is going to give 2 years of community college to anyone in specific programs that are approved. So there are so many funding opportunities. There are so many, scholarships. Grants are the things we want to say yes to. They are free money that we don't pay back. Loans are the big scary ones that we try to avoid, but just keeping in mind that do not let like the financing aspect stress you out and think that it's not an option for you. Never be afraid to like ask for help when it comes to filling all of that out down the line. And remember that there are options for you and there is support. And don't let that be the reason that you miss out on such an important lifelong experience, because beyond, getting a degree and getting a job, it also helps build you as a human being and develop you in that way too. So with WVU Parkersburg, beyond 12 credits, you also get them for free, which is awesome. When it comes to exploring next steps for colleges, I think it's great that you guys are tuning into this or any of the other virtual things offered by Education Alliance at the other schools. I think if you have a college local to you, go ahead and visit. It's not too soon to, take a tour, see what the spaces are like. I know we are always welcoming, students of any age to come check us out. We even offer some teen academies. So maybe there's a school local to you, whether it's us or someone else that, has some summer programs for, you guys right now, just to sort of get your feet wet and explore options there. Really, I think the most important thing is that college is super fun. And while it can seem big and scary between applying and financing it and all of that, you have a great opportunity as a West Virginia student to, 50% of our students graduate debt-free. And so we just want to make sure that you know that it is an option for you and it's super fun, and don't miss out on it because of something, like stress. So Lilith, is there anything you want to add?
Honestly, I feel like you've covered it pretty well. I'm just a student, so I can't speak super well on the whole financial situation, but as a student, I can tell you, I have a cousin. We're the same exact age. We're in the same exact spot in college at this point, but he goes to a larger university that requires staying on dorms. And his tuition, paying for his classes, his room, food vouchers, all that is more than 3 times what I'm paying, I'm pretty sure. And that's just one semester. So once you do get to that point where you are going to look into colleges and scholarships and things like that, that is something really big that you need to focus on is, am I really going to make enough from the scholarship and grant to pay for that? Or am I still going to have to break my bank just to cover the rest?
Important things to keep in mind. But I would say now is a great time to just sort of explore your area of interest. There is a program for every interest. I would say on our website, we have some free like career quizzes and aptitude tests, if that's something you're interested in exploring, but really just keeping it in the back of your mind as you sort of progress from middle school into high school, and just remembering that it is an option and that it's something that is definitely attainable, no matter where you're from, what school you're at, or even what your grades are like, because there are a lot of schools that are open enrollment. So while that's very important and take it seriously, keep in mind that, there is a school that will find a space for you. And hopefully, whether it's us or somewhere else that you call home, like, you will feel supported and seen and safe there.
Let me chime in for just a second since Kim can't. I'm kind of her supervisor as part of the AmeriCorps program, and I just wanted to say that on a lot of college campuses, whether it's through AmeriCorps or not, there is somebody on campus there that will help you, especially for financial aid, but for anything else you might need, like mental health issues or anything like that. There is always somebody on campus that can help you with pretty much any problem that you have. They can show you the way to go. You just have to go and ask for it.
That's a great point. Thank you. We do have a campus counselor, which I think is super important. There is a person for financial aid. There is a person for admissions. As Andrew said, there is a person for everything. And all you have to do, what's that Dumbledore quote? Like, help is always available if one simply asks or something. And so just making sure that you are taking advantage of those resources. And even on your middle school level, checking in with your guidance counselor, seeing what flyers are up there, making sure that you don't feel like you were alone in the process, because we are all here to help. Does anyone have any other questions or anything? Otherwise, I think that's about it. We don't want to overwhelm you too much. We just want to make sure you know that there are options, and we're all happy to help you figure them out step by step.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Hannah, for guiding us through today's tour. Thank you, Kim, and thank you, Lilith, for joining us and giving us a student perspective. We really appreciate it. And if anybody has any questions, they can contact Hannah. Her information is on the screen, and I'm sure she would love to hear from you. Thank you, everyone.